everyone. I just wanted to share my story as to how I went from high school to finishing my first graduate job and then moving on to another company. Everyone's experience is different. Obviously, choosing what university you go to is a major step, and also choosing the first job after university is also a major step. My transition from high school to university is not like everyone's transition. It's not as straight. It wasn't as straightforward as okay, well, this is a university I've always wanted to go to. I got my results and I got the best results, and boom, I'm in that university. Right, so that's not what happened with me. In my story, what happened was I actually started off doing mechanical engineering at Aberdeen College, and if anyone that knows me, they know that I'm not a morning person. The commute to college, I had really long days. I wasn't enjoying the course, and I just wasn't motivated. The real issue there for me was the lack of motivation. I kind of, just decided, right, I was going to give up and took few more shifts at Hollister and just worked more often. So after this, I looked at myself and thought, I need to definitely improve and I need to do something better for myself and move into Edinburgh. So my movement to Edinburgh was not a flick of the switch and I thought, oh, I'm going to go to Edinburgh. I actually have an older brother who lived in Edinburgh. I decided I was going to go there and basically start college all over again through Napier University as a 2+2 course. Whatever you want to study, really. You do that for 2 years in college and then you do 2 years at university. The difference between me doing college in Aberdeen and me doing college in Edinburgh was my mindset and how I was going to work hard and do the best I could to get my degree. When I moved to Edinburgh, my plan was to do the 2 years in Napier, but then I realized that I could pretty much pick any university in Scotland as they would most likely take me into third year. Once you got a good result in your college, you're most likely to get into the university. Before going to Edinburgh, my motivation was I wanted to do well. I had high aspirations. I've always wanted to be a manager, a director, a boss, a CEO, someone that earns good money. I'm a hardworking guy and I wanted to make my girlfriend, who is now my fiance, proud, and my family and friends definitely. This motivation was what developed that hard working trait in me, and till today, without a doubt, this is what's taken me through college and university. I'd like to thank my friends at college, Dean, Lewis, Sean, Isaac, Archie, Dave. I had some good pals at college, and they were really helpful. Until today, I'm still friends with most of them. I chose Robert Gordon University because I wanted to be closer to home and also closer to my girlfriend. I wanted to save money as renting in Edinburgh was very expensive, and my grades in Edinburgh would allow me to go to either Aberdeen University or Robert Gordon University. The difference between Aberdeen University and Robert Gordon was the fact that Aberdeen University had more software based courses, and I wanted to do something less software. And I know I chose to do electrical engineering, but then doing software is pretty much part of the business of electrical engineering and electronics. I had to do software. So I chose Robert Gordon because my parents were buying a new house, literally 10 minutes walk away from Robert Gordon, and it seemed like a no-brainer. Truth is, it actually turned out that Robert Gordon had less software focused courses, thank God, because my friend Isaac, who actually studied in Aberdeen University, told me that his course was very software intense. Don't get me wrong, I did have some software. My friends Zero, Sana, and Augustine and Alexandra will also tell you that we actually had a lot of intense software times and long hours in the library trying to get a program to work. It was an absolute nightmare. 2 years at Edinburgh, which went really well, and I enjoyed it. I made great friends. We then started third year at Robert Gordon University. My plan was to focus primarily on my courses in the either 2-1 or first class. I did not join many social clubs. In fact, I think I only joined one, which was a sports club, and I didn't attend it very often. My focus was on spending the next 2 years working hard and getting my bachelor's. I made some really helpful friends who I've obviously mentioned, who definitely made me feel comfortable and made my experience endurable, as I was hoping to just focus on working hard. They also had that drive, which meant that we weren't pulling each other different ways. So when it was time to party, we partied. When it was time to eat, we ate. When it was time to work, we worked, and we just kind of understood each other. My fear before joining university was not being able to make good friends, because friendships make your experience, and because I hadn't joined them in first year, I assumed that I would struggle, but most people in my class were happy to help. My fiance was also a hero because she brought me food a lot of times, and she brought KFC and McDonald's on numerous occasions. Love her. Brilliant. After my exams, don't get me wrong, I had fun. I partied, went out with my friends, and just forgot about the pain the previous months had caused. So, because I was focusing on university in my third year and have joining a new university, I did not get a summer placement, as I did not spend time applying to them, and the ones I applied to, I didn't get. Of course, this does knock down your confidence because you feel it's going to be difficult for you to get a graduate scheme. But when September came and fourth year began, I applied to various companies. I was looking for a graduate scheme and used Grad Cracker, which is really good for engineering, technology, science, and mathematics students through Grad Cracker. Thankfully, most of the application processes were straightforward. I went on to attend my first interview at a company called ACOM. I really enjoyed the interview and received a great offer. So at this point, I slowed down my applications and focused on fourth year. But in December, my friend Nahian told me about a company, Cummins, who were employing graduates and interns, as she was working for them at her placement year in industry. So I applied and impressed them at the interview, which was meant for a placement role, but I told them I was also available for a graduate scheme, and I will leave university with a bachelor's and potentially do a master's with them on a part-time basis. They saw something in me and offered me a graduate scheme in a department where I hadn't met my manager. The story of this is for another time. The reason why I hadn't met my manager was because other people in the team recommended me to him. He took their word for it and gave me the role after a telephone interview. So at this point, I had two job offers, and then my friend Zero from university told me about a company where they were looking for a part-time market researcher to help them build their company in Nigeria. So someone who had a little bit of oil and gas knowledge, which I did. My older brother and my dad were both in the oil and gas industry. I took on this position on a part-time basis while in fourth year, hoping to then go on as a graduate. So this happened before I received my offers. At this point, I decided to keep working for the company, and I told them, I was honest and straight with them, I do have two other job offers which could be of interest to me, and I will decide when they need me to decide. The role in Aberdeen was similar to what I like to do, which is business development, but it felt like it was the wrong time for me. It was a great opportunity, but wrong timing. I wanted to use my degree, I wanted to do a bit of engineering and then potentially be a technical sales engineer, and then moving on to be a sales director. I think that's pretty much what I want to do. The second job offer I got was from ACOM. I really liked the way the company looked. The office was brilliant. It was an open plan office, and they seemed like they cared about their employees. Looking from the outside in, obviously. They were very organized. The reason why I didn't choose them was because I didn't see myself doing that role in the future. It was a telecommunications engineering role in the building and construction industry in the design department. They worked on projects like building large offices and also massive shopping centers. It was very interesting for me, but when I heard more at the interview, I realized that it wasn't for me. So I basically had to make sure that I received an offer before rejecting the offer. I chose Cummins because my dissertation was close to what they did in the department, and I felt it was the right match for me after studying 4 years in engineering. I felt as a big company, Cummins would teach me a lot, I would learn massively, and they also paid a lot more than my other options. Money is not everything, but as a sports student, it's definitely a tick in the box. It's definitely a plus in terms of weighing your pros and cons. I spent 2 years and 3 months as of December 2019, and Cummins, for me, I believe was the right decision after university. I can give you some tips as to how you should build yourself up and get to a good position after doing a graduate scheme or within a graduate scheme for these reasons. First of all, take every opportunity you are offered. Second, make friends with people in different departments. Learn how to influence people. Make sure if you are asked to do something, do it well. Gain a reputation as the person that people can come to for business or personal chats. Number 6, listen carefully to mentors. Get one if the graduate program doesn't offer one. Remember, people love talking about themselves, so ask people in positions you think you would be interested in the future, how did they get there? Cummins was my first chapter, and within that chapter, I started a new chapter, which was studying a master's in engineering business management at the University of Warwick, which I'm still currently doing on a part-time basis. And I am excited to see what that does for me when I graduate in 2021. Wish me luck, guys. Cheers.